I have always been fascinated with the evolution of human understanding, how we went from ancient times using mythology and magic to explain things, till now where we use modern science and technology to understand our place in the universe. So I want to explore the difference between mythology and science. Now here I've got a miniature globe that represents the Earth. And since I love coins, here's a large copper coin that represents the sun. And over here, a large silver coin to represent the moon. Now, it was in these ancient cultures, like with the Babylonians, where they first began to track the path of the sun, the moon, and the stars to build what we now use as our modern calendars. So for instance, they would track the moon night after night, watching its path. And then in the morning, when the sun would rise, it appeared as though the moon had completely disappeared, when in fact we know now that the moon is almost always visible in the sky. It's just more difficult to see during the daylight. But they thought the sun and the moon traded places, or in some cultures, they thought the sun and the moon were the same entity. And there's other phenomenon, like when the sun, the earth, and the moon come into perfect alignment. Of course, we know this now as an eclipse, but in ancient times, this was a scary event. Imagine in broad daylight, the sun seemingly disappearing, blacking out completely. Or likewise at night, when the earth would come between the sun and the moon and cast a shadow over the moon, causing the moon to vanish. Of course, we know now the moon doesn't vanish, it's in the shadow of the earth. But this got me thinking, what would it be like to live in ancient times? To actually believe that the moon was vanishing, to look up in the night sky and see the moon slowly black out and disappear. What if it wasn't in the shadow of the earth, but what if the world was ending? Well, this is what some people thought. They thought the world was over, and that we would all just disappear. Of course, thanks to modern science and understanding, we know that's not what's happening. The moon is, in fact, in the shadow of the earth, and we're all going to be okay. Hello, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I've got something really special to show you guys, and you probably won't see this anywhere else. There's probably no one else that will review this for you. So it's my pleasure to bring you today The Sun, the Earth, and the Moon from Dr. Michael Rubinstein. Now, I want to be completely upfront with you and tell you that I received this from Dr. Michael Rubinstein in exchange for my thoughts and my review of his routine. So I want to give you a completely unbiased review of his routine and what I truly think of it. And I do have some thoughts about it. But what you receive here is truly a special piece of magic. This is an entire showpiece. And it really reminds me of David Roth's work with a complete performance with props other than coins. The coins are secondary to the magic happening here. So I first want to showcase what you receive in your package. Now it comes in this nice magnetic closure box that we're seeing more and more of today with the different magic products coming out. So first off, when you open up the package, it looks nice right when you unbox it. Now inside, you will see where to view the tutorial, and I'll get to that in a minute. So what you get is the carrying case, which, like I mentioned, is for carrying a camera lens. but this makes a wonderful open servant. And if you're familiar with the work of David Roth, he uses this concept in a wild coin routine where things are ditched in plain view. And that concept is utilized in this routine. And I think this is great to have in general to incorporate into some of my other magic. And it's just such a suitable item for that purpose. And right away I was thinking of ideas how to use this in a couple of other routines I have. Then along with that, in a velvet bag, you get the globe and a clear globe. Now this is removable from the stand, and this one fits in the stand. So there's a sequence in the routine where the clear globe will come into play. You also receive a jeans pocket that's cut out from the pants. And then best of all here is the gimmicked coins that you receive. Now, I want to be somewhat discreet here, to not for exposure's sake, but to kind of protect the methodology of the routine. But you will get a normal copper coin, what appears to be a normal silver dollar, but this is steel shimmed. You get a sun and moon copper coin, and the quality of this is absolutely beautiful. I can show you very up close. If you're familiar with a sun and moon coin, there's nothing to see, basically. In addition to that, you receive a second insert for the sun and moon coin. So this has two identical inserts. So these coins alone are almost worth the price of the entire package here. Now these were made by Ted Bagusta, which he doesn't do custom work. He only creates coins for commercial work for companies, larger wholesale companies. So this is the first time I've had his work in my hands, and it's just phenomenal. Like I said, to have these is almost worth the price of the entire set here. So this is what's included in the package. There's another small piece that helps you hold out the clear globe, but I didn't show that. It's just a simple holdout that you safety pin to an area that is discreetly hidden. But that should be familiar to many of you. I wanted to next get into the tutorial, which is about an hour and a half long. It's every detail you need. There's two performances. One is the formal, complete showpiece performance, and then the explanation of that. Then there's what Dr. Rubinstein calls a table hoppers, more abbreviated performance, and then an explanation of that. The tutorial itself, it's great. It covers every detail you need. There's multiple camera angles. It's easily understood, and I didn't come away, with any missing information. I had everything I needed. So in terms of that, the tutorial is fantastic, and you get everything you need. Next, I want to talk about the routine itself. Now here's where I have a little bit of criticism, and this is mainly my personal taste. I personally don't picture myself using all the pieces included in the routine. I love the concept it's taking the sun and moon routine and elevating it to such a high level and really making it more of a showpiece, where before it's a nice little coin trick, but it's kind of, in essence, it's a transposition. It's a copper and silver transposition. But with this routine, there's so much going on. It's a complete performance. You know, the performance in the tutorial is about 6 minutes. So, but like I said, my personal preference, I think it's a little too much going on with the pocket and the different transpositions, and then the transformation of the globe at the end. Just for my personal taste, I don't see myself using every bit of it. But having said that, I do see myself using these props for other routines. This pocket, for instance, as I began watching the tutorial and working my way through the routine, I thought, wouldn't this be great as a sort of portable whole routine? Again, from taking an idea from David Roth, but now you've got something where you can hide coins underneath or inside of, and have fun with that concept. And I thought of the cliche of money burning a hole through your pocket, and what could be done with that line of patter. And so I also mentioned the open servant and using that with some other routines. So what you get in the entire package is really a bunch of props that don't necessarily have to be used together, but can be used for many, many other routines. And then the coins themselves, it's such a beautiful set of coins. By the way, you won't find this anywhere else except this package. You can do your copper silver transposition routines. You can do the standard sun and moon routine. The only thing I wish was included was either that the standard silver dollar fit into the sun and moon coin, or that there was an expanded shell for the silver dollar that accommodated the inserts for the sun and moon. So in essence, you could have 2 sun and moon coins that were opposite orientations. And I think it was years ago, Todd Lassen put out a set called the UWC, the Ultimate Wild Coin. And it was 2 sun and moon coins that were opposite colors, and you could do a ton of stuff with that. But of course, that would have bumped the price up even more. Something you might want to explore is getting an Eisenhower expanded shell, which is fairly affordable, and see, how well it works with the inserts of the sun and moon coin. But with all of that said, the variety of props that are included in the package, it gives you so much more magic than doing the routine as is. And then the coins alone, the versatility with those, it's well worth your time. And plus how well they're made. You're not going to find these anywhere else. One thing I don't like about some other coin makers is the copper coins they use. This is a really nice copper coin here. It's almost pure copper. It's got the Aztec emperor there, Cuauhtemoc, the Aztec calendar there on the back. Typically you'll see a copper coin that has the walking liberty on it, and it's actually cut down, where on this one he didn't have to cut it down or reduce it in size. It's the full size coin. So with that in mind, I think it's a better looking set than some of the other sun and moon sets you see out there, particularly in dollar size, because it's hard to find that dollar size copper coin out there. So where can you get this set? Well, you can email Dr. Rubinstein directly, and I'll leave his email down below in the description, or you can go to Meir Yedid's site, mymagic.com, and find it there. This is an exclusive set that's only available through those two outlets, and there's only 100 sets available. Now the price is a bit of an investment, but I think I've made the case for what you get here and the quality of the props. The price is $325, but again, there's no other set of coins like this out there, and not as well made on top of that. And I forgot to mention this globe, which I've been trying to find myself, and for the past week or so, I cannot locate this. Dr. Rubinstein told me after he bought these, they were discontinued of this particular one. I was looking in case I might find a spare one so I could perform David Roth's planet routine. But unfortunately, this globe doesn't come apart, and I'm not trying to force it apart and ruin it, but I wondered if I could get even more out of this set of props. But unfortunately, this doesn't come apart, so you can't do Roth's planet routine, but I'm still on the lookout for that particular globe. But this is the closest thing I've ever seen to finding that. So again, the scarcity of these things, it makes the price worth it. The versatility you have here makes the price worth it. The variety of props and the other routines you can use with these props makes the price worth it. So in my opinion, if I were to score this out of 10, this is easily 7.5, 8 out of 10, just for the routine itself, but the many other things you can do with all the different props involved. It's just a great package here. So that's it for today's video. I hope I gave you more insight into this package here. I will also include Dr. Rubinstein's performance down below in the description. I urge you to check that out to get a feel for his routine. That's it for now. Stay tuned for the next video.